our first one.
Guidance and resources on all things innovation and entrepreneurship at Temple University. And our programs are free and open to all students, alumni, faculty, and staff from all 17 schools and colleges within all of Temple University. So it's free. It's open to everyone. We encourage you to come to our programs, come to our space when we're back on campus again and open, and share this news with your friends and this information with your friends as well. So to start with, many of the programs we offer are really focused on competitions, but those competitions are surrounded by other resources and really create programs for everyone. So we have 3 major competitions that take place throughout the year, and over $250,000 in cash and service awards that we give out as part of those competitions. We had our first kickoff competition, the Innovative Idea Competition, in the fall. We're now very close to completing our Changemaker Challenge competition, and I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. That's coming up, with the deadline for that being next Wednesday night at midnight, in order to submit to that competition. And then we have really what I call the crown jewel of all of our competitions, which is the Be Your Own Boss Bowl. And that's going to be taking place again in this semester, with a submission date in March and the final event being in April. But what you also should know is that throughout the year, we provide free online mentoring from our various business professionals to all members of the 1810 Accelerator program and all members of the Temple community. And mentoring is really one of our most valuable resources, and frankly, one of the most underutilized resources that we have. We have over 75 professionals. Many of these people are Temple alums themselves. They're from the Philly entrepreneurial ecosystem. They have, in some cases, done their own startups. Some of them are serial entrepreneurs, and many of them are also part of the angel investor community in the Philly region. So these are really people that know what they're talking about. about starting up businesses or innovating within companies. So I really recommend that you look at that as a resource that you take advantage of, whether or not you're deciding to compete in one of the programs or not. And I'll talk in a little more depth about mentoring and how you can book an appointment with a mentor a little bit later. So we also offer, as I mentioned, dedicated workshops for each of the competitions. These workshops are designed to help you tackle the various issues and things that you need to think about when you're entering the competition. And they're also very focused on helping you complete your application to that competition. But the topics that we cover are general enough that people, even if you're not planning to enter the competition, you might want to come to these workshops to learn about some of these aspects. Maybe this opens the door for you to enter on the next competition down the road. We'll also be running our freelancers program again this year by Professor Kersner, who runs this. And this is a series of speakers and workshops that take place. And then from that, teams will have an opportunity to pitch their freelance businesses. And we've developed a website to launch all of those programs or all of those ventures and publicize those ventures. Now, there are other resources that we have available within the IEI to help you develop and grow your ventures. I'm going to get into some of those other resources a little bit later. And then also we have our Lori Hermelin Bush Seed Fund program that we run for women entrepreneurs. And that's run usually starts at the end of the spring and runs during the summer, but there's $50,000 available every year to the teams that submit and make it to the finals of that program. We call them in and they have an opportunity to present to our pitch coaches and win seed funding for their business. So you can see there's a lot of things that are going on and that you can take advantage of. Now, being an entrepreneur does not mean you have to be from the Fox School of Business, because good ideas come from all over the university. And this is just a small representation of some of the people who've been in our previous programs. And you can see from CLA, from the College of Engineering, out of our master's programs, and out of College of Media and Communications. These are some people that have won over the past few years. Enoch was our grand prize winner in the Be Your Own Boss Bowl last year out of the School of Engineering. Again, anybody can come up with a good idea, and we have people from all over the university that are coming to the IEI seeking help and guidance, utilizing our mentors to get feedback on their ideas and counseling on how to take and launch their ventures and grow them. Now, integral to a lot of these programs and to the IEI is the 1810 Accelerator. Now, this space is available. It's in the 1810 building at the far end of the first floor. This space is open to anyone. It is a members only space, so you do have to join, but it's free to join. I know many of you on the Zoom session today are members of the 1810 Accelerator, but for those of you who aren't, I strongly encourage you to join, become members. Again, it's a great place to meet other people from various schools and colleges from the university, to get to share ideas, interact with them, make new friends, potentially find people that might want to join your team for your startup venture. We have this open space, as you can see, but we also have a small creativity lab where we've got a lending library of books and resources in there that you can work with, some other games and things to kind of let loose and let your hair down, also to just let your creative juices start flowing using some of those things. So I encourage you to sign up to be a member of 1810. We ask you to sign up because part of that process is you have to agree to the code of conduct. Pretty simple thing to do. And then once you have access, it takes about 24 hours. Once you get access, you'll be able to use your TUID card to swipe in and come into our space. Now, to give you kind of a broader view of programs, again, that are run throughout the year, we kick off at the beginning of the year with the with the Innovative Idea Competition. We're now, as I mentioned, in the middle of the Changemaker Challenge program and getting ready for our Social Entrepreneurship Summit. I have a separate slide, I'll talk to that. I mentioned our freelancing program that will be starting shortly after the Changemaker Challenge wraps up. Then we move into our Be Your Own Boss Bowl. And then we go from that into what we call our Startup Studio, which is our 1810 Accelerator program. Now, this primarily targets finalists from our competitions, where they can participate in this small cohort program. It's a formal business accelerator that runs for 9 weeks during the summer. It's got great speakers that we bring in, really pertinent topics for getting your business launched, and also dedicated mentoring that work with the teams over the entire summer to help them get their business ready to launch, or to help them grow if they've already launched, or to help them be better prepared to look for funding for their business. And then, as I mentioned, later in the year, over the summer months, we'll be focusing on the Lori Hermelin Bush Seed Fund program. And you'll see that the programs are designed to build on each other. So in the fall, it's mostly the focus is on innovative ideas, finding opportunities. We then progress through and try to put a special focus on thinking about ventures that have and ideas that have social impact. But frankly, we try to encourage that in all ventures, in anything that you're thinking of. We encourage you to look at how you can drive greater social and environmental impact, whether you're a for-profit idea or venture or a nonprofit venture or idea. Then we focus on Be Your Own Boss Bowls is really the next level up, because now we're asking you to test your ideas, get validation on what you've done and on your idea and your concept before you start to launch. And then Startup Studio, as I mentioned, is really for people focused on and serious about launching their ventures. All right, talk a little bit more about the Changemaker Challenge. So we have already completed our workshop series for the Changemaker Challenge. Professor Kersner brought in a host of great speakers to lead those programs. And the deadline for the Changemaker Challenge is next Wednesday night at midnight. This is the QR code that will take you to the portal where you can start working on submitting your entry. You can go in and create a draft and then come back and continue to work on it. And then also I'd point out to you that tonight at 5 o'clock is a special program with past finalists from the Changemaker Challenge. And they'll be asked questions that really help to tell the story about how they got involved in this program, what motivated them, what inspired them, how did they approach the competition, and hopefully they'll share some tips and tricks with you of what they did to help them make it to the finals in this competition. And then on the other side of the screen, and that QR code is really registration for our Social Impact Summit. And the Social Impact Summit this year has Kimberly McGlone, who's going to come in and lead the panel discussion on Beyond Triple Blind, Profits and with a Purpose. Kimberly will lead that discussion, but we'll have several other panelists participating in that. You're not going to want to miss that. If you've got an interest in social impact and making a difference with your idea, it's going to be a great program. And as part of that program, we'll also be sharing the pitches from the finalists of the Changemaker Challenge and announcing the winners of that program. So remember those 3 dates: tonight at 5 o'clock, next Wednesday, the 19th, for submissions, and then the 24th for the Social Impact Summit, and to see who wins the competition. All right, the next one, as I mentioned before, is the Be Your Own Boss Bowl. And this is really our biggest pitch competition in terms of the number of people that participate, and also in terms of the prizes that are available to the finalists. With over $200,000 in cash and prizes available, this is one of the richest competitions of its type in the country, and it's uniquely for members of the Temple community. So again, any undergrad or graduate student, alumni, faculty, or staff of the Temple University community can participate in this competition. Next Wednesday night, you could see next Wednesday, the 19th, is a busy day. Next Wednesday night, we'll be doing not just the final submissions for the Changemaker Challenge, but we're also going to be having our kickoff event for the Be Your Own Boss Bowl. We'll be bringing in a panel of past winners from the Be Your Own Boss Bowl, led by Emily Madera from our ESEA, who also was a past winner last year in the Be Your Own Boss Bowl. And they'll be talking about how they got interested, how they came up with their idea, what they did to gain that edge to make it to the finals for the competition. Again, you're not going to want to miss it. Next Wednesday, 5 o'clock. We also then, the following week on Wednesday nights, we'll be running our series of weekly online workshops focused on helping and guiding you through preparing for the competition, but with lots of great general information so that even if you aren't competing, you might want to attend these sessions and just learn more about the process of thinking about and launching your business. And then I want to encourage that one of the most valuable resources, again, is this free mentoring that we provide from our over 75 mentors that volunteer their time and energy to work with our Temple Owlpreneurs to help them with their ideas. All right, so let's talk a little bit. I mentioned about you have free mentoring available that you can book using Startup Tree. So let's talk a little bit about these resources that are available to you. The first and foremost is Startup Tree, which is our platform that we use for all things entrepreneurship here at Temple University. It's our digital hub for networking, mentoring, and messaging. You can look at upcoming events. You can submit to competitions through Startup Tree. You can search for and find mentors. You can look to find partners or co-founders for your venture. And the beauty of Startup Tree is while we have a presence at Temple University, and there are over 1,000 people that are on that platform right now in our Temple community, you also can look globally within Startup Tree. So Startup Tree is one of the foremost platforms used at universities and other entrepreneurship centers across the US and around the world. And there's over 220,000 people on the platform. So not only can you look for and message people that you might want to try to bring to your team as a resource on your team, but you can go global. You can also post information globally. So not just to the Temple community, but to the global Startup Tree community. The QR code there will take you to an easy sign-up process to create your user profile and get started. And I'll be running every week from now through the semester. I'll be running office hours where I'm going to be focusing on helpful tips and answering questions on how to best utilize Startup Tree, and then how to also utilize this other great resource that we make available to you for free, and that's LeanStack. So LeanStack's an online learning platform. It's stage-gated, so it has small modules that you can do in just bite-sized chunks. It's very easy. Most of these modules are just short readings or short videos that you watch. They progress, they build upon each other, and then occasionally sprinkled in there, there'll be an exercise for you to do that helps you think through this process and look on how to identify opportunities, how to generate ideas to solve problems or to fulfill those opportunities, and how to think about starting your business. Right? It's really a great tool. We've used it now for 2 years. And by the way, this is the base platform that we use in our Summer Startup Studio program, which is our accelerator program. So I encourage you to use the QR code here to register, become a member of LeanStack. The first 2 playbooks that are available to everyone in our community are free. Temple University pays the fees for you to use this product. And so I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to come out and attend some of the weekly sessions that I'll be running to answer questions on how you can maximize and get the most benefit from using both of these tools. All right. I wanted to do a little bit deeper dive about mentoring since I put such an emphasis on it here today. You can use Startup Tree to search for and book mentors. And when you go on the platform, once you're on the platform, you'll see at the top that there's a button that you can click for mentors. When you do that, it will pull up a page like this that lists all of the mentors that are available on the platform. And up here at the top, you'll notice that there's drop-down selections. So you can filter in the system based off of the roles that you're looking for, the type of skill sets that you're looking for, tags, office hours that might be available, and on specific dates. So it's a lot of flexibility, a lot of power for you to really drill in. You also can scroll through looking at these people, and if you see somebody that you think looks interesting based off of their roles, the tags that they have listed, or their skill sets, you can click on their profile and it'll give you a complete bio for them. It'll show you their past work experience. It'll show you what they've identified as their particular strengths. And you'll notice over here on the right that there are different options. Some mentors, like Todd here, doesn't have office hours that are set. So he has a thing that just says check back soon. But if you had a particular interest in talking with Todd, you could message him through the platform and say, Todd, I see you don't have office hours available, but I'd really like to talk to you based off of looking at your profile. Would you be able to meet with me? In Chris's case, Chris has his profile set up that you can request him as a mentor. So which means that Chris doesn't take all open mentoring requests. He trusts that people that want to meet with him are going to have an agenda. They're going to have a list of questions, things that they want to ask him or they want to know from him. And so you'll need to request the mentor, list that information, why it is you want to meet with Chris. And then once you've done that, someone from the IEI will review your request. And if it makes sense that Chris is the right guy for you to talk to, we'll approve that and then we'll pass that request on to Chris. In Chad's case, it's the same thing. And in some cases, you'll see people, you can message them directly. In some cases, you can connect to them directly. All right, here's another example. You can see Tim Rowe and Rahib and Nick. They have open office hours. And so they're willing to meet with anybody. And you can click on the book meeting now. And when you do that, it will take you right to their booking page and allow you to book the meeting with them directly. Again, I already mentioned about the request mentor and how that process books. One other thing to be aware of is that when you're looking to make a mentoring appointment, think ahead. You always need to think a week ahead. So in some cases, you want to find a mentor you think might be interesting, try to set up that meeting ahead of time, and then you have a week to put together your plan as to how you want to approach your meeting with that mentor. So when I say book ahead and look to the future, you always have to book 1 week in advance. So on Friday of this week or Saturday of this week, you can book meetings for next week. But for example, today on Wednesday, you would not be able to book a meeting with a mentor for this Friday. All right, you only can book that week into the future. All right, and lastly, just wanted to show you an example of a mentor that has open office hours. This is what it looks like when you go to check out their availability. It'll list all of the dates and the times they're available. And when you're ready to book a meeting, you just click the button schedule meeting. When you do that, it's going to pop up a window and ask you to share what it is you want to ask or learn about from them. And then once you've submitted that request, the mentor will get a notice that you've booked a meeting with them. They'll approve it and you're booked. You'll get a notification from Startup Tree that the meeting's been accepted, a confirmation of it, and a reminder of it. All right. Many of the mentors have their own Zoom links. Some mentors do their meetings on Zoom. Some mentors just do them by phone. So be prepared either way. All right. The last but not least, well, I'm sorry, not last but not least, but I also wanted to take a minute just to talk about ESA. Is Emily on the meeting? Emily, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah,
Amon's here too. Emily, I'm going to interrupt you. Hey, Greg, it's already 12:30. I just want to make sure people have time to actually meet with everyone. So ESA will have a room after, so if you are interested in learning more about them, but I don't want to, okay.
Okay. So yeah, I think we have, well, let's hear from Emily or Amon, okay? If you want to just quickly give a quick overview of ESA, and then we'll wrap up the program with Professor McNamee talking about some courses available for this coming semester.
Sure, I'll talk real quick. So hi guys, I'm Amon. I'm the president of ESA and Emily is the vice president. We are a community of just student entrepreneurs or just people interested in entrepreneurship. We meet every Wednesday, 12 to 1 in the 1810 Accelerator. We'll have a breakout room, so feel free to come to us and just ask us any questions you have and we can talk about it a little more. But just a really great place to meet other students that are like-minded.
Okay. All right, and then, whoops, let me go back here. All right, and then wanted to talk a little bit about academics and programs that are available through the IEI. So Rob, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Greg. Welcome everybody, and there's so many resources available to you guys as students and alumni of Temple, and so I really hope you take advantage of it, whether you're a major, a minor, a certificate, or just an interested student. So just very briefly, I want to talk about the courses, and Greg, we can animate a couple more. Sorry, there's a few. So first, if you are, we want to make all of our programs as available as possible to all students, right? And we know that you guys are busy. And so one way to kind of allocate your time to working on your entrepreneurial endeavors is to take classes in the program. Now, if you're a major or you're a minor or certificate, there's some requirements out there, but all of our programs and courses are available to any student regardless of your major. If you are interested in entrepreneurship and you're at the early stage of the process, you want to help recognizing opportunities, you should be taking SGM 0827 is a Gen Ed, Human Behavior Gen Ed course. That's a great course to learn about creative problem solving, innovative thinking, and entrepreneurial thinking. The other thing is that for the major, the minor, and the certificates, one of the core classes that you'll take is SGM 3501, Entrepreneurial and Innovative Thinking, where you learn how to match your passion with recognizing opportunities close to your areas of passion, developing business models, and thinking about how do you sort of take an idea to reality? How do you bring an idea to reality? Later on in the process, if you have an idea that you're ready to test, you should be taking Lean Startup, SGM 3503. And Lean Startup is basically how do you really quickly gather insights to test the viability of your idea? How do you evolve those ideas to make them more reasonable for the market? And Greg, I think there's one more, if you can animate in one more. Another course that fits in the kind of middle, everything from idea through testing, is the social entrepreneurship class. And so if you're working on a social venture, I really strongly encourage students to take SGM 3511 social entrepreneurship. The times that are listed are for this semester. There are still some seats available in some of these classes if students are interested and they haven't added them in. But basically, social entrepreneurship helps you think through how to recognize and solve social problems with viable business concepts. If you're a little later in the stage or you're ready to actually work through a business plan or a pitch deck, SGM 3002, Be Your Own Boss, is a great course to help you kind of polish up your idea and get it really ready to analyze the feasibility of it, do a market and financial feasibility. That course also helps you compete in the Be Your Own Boss Bowl. So all the things you actually have to do in that course are very comparable to the deliverable requirements for the Be Your Own Boss Bowl course. And finally, if you're an entrepreneurship major, SGM 4596 is the course that you should take to basically work through. That's your capstone course, and that's the course that also helps you get ready for the Be Your Own Boss Bowl. In general, guys, I encourage students to take these courses as early as possible because in entrepreneurial thinking, creativity, innovation takes some incubation time. So it takes you time to get your ideas into the format that you're really ready to go with them. And so the earlier you take these courses, so taking the human behavior course as a freshman, taking SGM 3501 as a freshman or a sophomore, take these courses as early as you can in your schedule so you have time to work through your ideas, engage with the co-curricular programs, keep working through things across our academic and co-curricular programs to give you the best chance to launch your idea while you're here at school or when you graduate. And Greg, one more animation. So we have a full range of certificates that are available. a minor and a major. And so just to make sure you guys know about these programs, so the certificate in entrepreneurship and innovation is available to all Temple students, and it's only 3 courses. Okay, and there's a set, and you can check the bulletin for more details on this, but I want to make sure you know that there is a certificate available for all Temple students. There's also a certificate in creative entrepreneurship, which is a partnership with Tyler, which has 4 total courses, 3 of which are the same as our certificate, and then 1 of which is in Tyler, and that's a popular program in Tyler. We also have a minor in entrepreneurship and innovation management. Now, this is usually for Fox students, because for a Fox student, it only takes 3 additional courses beyond your other degrees. It is the minor in Fox is also available to other students, but it is 11 courses. So just keep that in mind as you are doing planning. And then lastly, there is a major in entrepreneurship and innovation management. And this is available to Fox students. It's 6 courses, 18 credits. And just to note, we removed cost accounting from that recently. The last thing is, if you are a Fox student and you're enrolled in a different major, but this stuff is interesting to you, you can actually do a double major and double count 1 course across the 2 majors. In marketing, HRM, finance, MIS, international business management, there's actually a course that's available you can double count. Again, I'm going to be in a breakout room and I'm available for any additional questions. And there may be one more thing to animate in there, Greg. So the last component, there is a master's degree. And again, I'm never heavy selling anything, but I want to make sure students know these things are available. So we have a master's degree in Master of Science in Innovation Management Entrepreneurship. It's a 30-credit master's degree. Students can actually take MBA core classes as electives if you're not a business student, but otherwise you have a whole ton of electives available in this program, but it really teaches the core of innovation, management, and entrepreneurship. There's great networking because you take classes with professional MBA, online MBA, and executive MBA students even. So it's a great opportunity, but I'm happy to answer more detailed questions about any of these programs, but also the bulletin has a rich source of information for the requirements, the courses, and anything else you want to learn about. So thanks very much, everyone, and that's it for me.
Okay, and so I'll just wrap up quickly by just saying, the IEI is here to help. No matter what stage you're in terms of thinking through an idea or about a venture, creating your own business, we're here. So we've listed our contact information up here. The one person that is not listed here is Lindsay Clark, who, in addition to all of this stuff, is responsible for everything else within the IEI. So she's an integral part of this and runs much of the behind the scenes things. And so thank you, Lindsay, for setting this all up and for being part of these programs. But we'll have breakout rooms for Rob and myself. I believe there'll be a breakout room for ESA. And then Lindsay is going to stay in the main room in case you have just any general questions that you want to ask about the IEI or getting involved in the IEI or the space or registering, et cetera. All right. So, Lindsay, are you going to set up the breakout rooms?
Yep. Give me just 1 sec.
Okay. Are there any questions anybody has right now, just in general, while we're still all here? I don't see any hands.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm going to open the breakout rooms. There's a room for ESA, for eShip and Innovation Academics, which is with Rob. The 1810 Accelerator and our competitions, which Greg will be in, and then social impact and freelancing, which Alan Kersner will be in. So you can feel free to go to whatever room. If you're unable to move yourself, just turn your camera mic on and let me know, and I can go ahead and move you in there. Somebody asked about a suitable code. Yeah, when we come back at about 12:50, I'll have it up for y'all.
I can't join the breakout room. I don't have the option.
Sure. Where do you want to go?
The internship one.
Sure. And
Thank
this
you.
is Kelly.
Mhm.
Sorry, no, I just lost you. There we go. Kelly.
I can't find the option either, and I will
For
also like to go
Ivy?
into the, yeah. I would
And
like to
you're going
also
to
go
the
to,
academics with Rob.
what was it?
What room were you looking to go into?
Internship.
Sure.
I'm also having the same issue. Sorry,
Oh,
I
sure.
don't really know where to look. It's Leslie.
Sure, Leslie, where do you want to go?
To Robert's room.
Uh, Hi there, Ms. Lindsay. Can you send me the internship room?
Sure, and who was that? I'm sorry.
Ikesh, EKSJ.
Yep,
I just
no problem. Give me one sec. Anyone else want to go anywhere, or if y'all have general questions?
Yeah, I wanted to go to the ESA room.
Sure. Is that Betty?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Done.
Thank you.
Internship room, Sanjan. Sure.
Hello, this is Jasmine. I also wanted to go to the internship one.
Sure,
Thank you.
you got it. Anyone else having issues? You can also chat me. A few people have chatted me.
Hi, this is Lastella. I also want to go into the internship room.
Perfect.
Thank you.
This is Joanne. I want to go into internship room too.
Okay, whoever, Joanne, hold on one second. Oh. Stella's going here. Joanne,
Oh, yes,
where did you want to go? I'm so sorry.
internship.
Perfect.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hi, this is Sydney. Would you be able to send me to the ESA room?
You got it.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Brian. Can you send me to 1810?
You got it. Anyone else? Again, you can feel free to chat me, either chat everyone, you can chat me directly.